Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to New Hampshire. We are up in here in the Northeast. We're at this 1 mile trek, the Magic Mile, some people like to call it. We got Mark Martin on pole to his outside rookie, Brian Vickers. We got 76 laps here today. We'll go over the practice sheets here. Tony Stewart led practice, the only driver in 31:14. Down to Joe Nemechek didn't practice very good. You see he's back there starting 10th. Here's your qualifying order lineup. Elliott Sadler has some issues in qualifying. We'll have to see how he does today. Travis Kvapil in the 84. Interesting there for Hendrick Motorsports. Kind of scroll up through here. Top 10, there's Nemechek. All the way up to Mark Martin ran at 90. So close to an 8. There's Happy Hour 31-2. So they lost a little bit of time here, but Matt Kenseth's Jeff Burton. Now, with the truck race and the Busch Series race, you can kind of expect.
Drivers, to your cars.
Here's the drivers getting called to their cars. You can expect there was 2 crashes on the first couple laps. But you can expect basically whoever gets lead on like lap 3. It's going to be really, really difficult to make a pass. Track position is going to be really, really important. I'm thinking probably 1 pit stop throughout the race. Might be kind of boring, but yeah, so there's that. Not much else going on here. We'll get the starting lineup and we'll get this race rolling. Alrighty, the cars are rolling here. There's Mark Martin, Brian Vickers, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Rudd, row 2, row 3, Jane McMurray, Kevin Harvick. Row 4, Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Joe Nemechek. Jeff Gordon, Steve Park. Bill Elliott, Greg Biffle. Matt Kenseth, Sterling Marlin. We got Kurt Busch, Casey Mears, kind of go through the rest of it here. And Elliott Sadler and Ward Burton. There's that pace car's getting ready to make that left-hand turn. There he goes. Flagman's got the field in hand. And we are racing here in New Hampshire. See, Johnson right there tries to make it 3 wide. There's a little less banking down there on the inside. The second and third lane is probably where you're going to want to be. And Vickers gets out to a pretty sizable lead right here. Now, if he can just hang on to it, he might be in the catbird seat. But this is a longer race. More strategy can play out. Right, there may be some wrecks. We'll have to see. But Vickers will get around to lead lap number 1. Ricky Rudd's up to 4th on the outside. McMurray's on the inside, followed by Dale Jarrett. Harvick stuck in the middle. Rudd's looking to try and clear. There's an early contact. There's Brian Vickers coming around. Mark Martin's closing in a little bit. But I feel like it's going to be kind of like Chicagoland, where everybody's going to be fighting for the bottom, but the outside line is kind of where you want to maybe be. And Mac Martin, you just give up too much right there on the entrance, and you just can't get a run until the exit. But by then it's too late, and you can't get side by side. There's Kevin Harvick, Jane McMurray, Dale Jarrett. McMurray almost cleared Jarrett. There's Joe Nemechek. He's rumored to be racing full-time in his Busch car next season. Meanwhile, back up front, Mark Martin is not letting Vickers out of his sight. It's the top 3 of kind of pulled away here. Next time by will be 71 laps to go. This is going to be a long race, ladies and gentlemen. See, Mark Martin's all over the back end of Vickers. Mark Martin's looking to his inside. They're just able to roll around the outside. A little bit. Mark's looking to try and get a run. I think Mark's a little quicker than Vickers right now. Yeah, Mark's just a little quicker than Vickers. Just fly by the field, see if you can pick out your favorite car, your favorite paint scheme. Ooh, Buckshot Jones down there on the apron. See if we can get maybe an update from him. What's wrong with the 10 car? We're getting reports saying he's down a cylinder. Car's not firing right. Here's Elliott Sadler, qualified last today. Right behind Buckshot Jones' teammate. Trying to get around Nadu. Here comes Mark Martins trying to get a run here on Vickers. Like I said, it's going to be really, really difficult to pass. He's got a run, though. What does Mark do with it? Right there, he's able to kind of get a run, stay even with him, but right here, oh, he's there. I was going to say the 5's going to get a run around the outside, but Mark was able to fight back. Still just a little bit too much of a run the outside line. There's more banking up top. Now Mark Martin's in the risk of losing second if he can clear Jimmy here. And he can't. Johnson's going to get a run off the corner. And he's going to be going for second. Oh, looks like Jimmy's going to let Mark back up. Yeah, Mark Martin is way faster than Vickers right now. And Mark Martin, he needs a good day. Lately, he's been having good days, and there's been strategy issues as Mark's going to go to the high side. Can he roll the momentum? Can he get a run around the corner? He's to the outside. He is there. They are drag racing down this front stretch. Advantage so far will go to Vickers, but Mark should get a good run around the corner on the outside. Maybe down the back. Mark Martin's looking to clear off 4. Can't quite do it, not yet. Still not quite clear. But yeah, as I was saying, as Mark Martin clears Vickers into 1 and 2, Vickers is still in front of his teammate Jimmy Johnson. Johnson's trying to make that outside line work. As all this battling has brought Kevin Harvick into the mix. Mark Martin, usually when he has good days, it usually engine failures, other mechanical issues. Has not had a great season, as there goes Johnson pressuring his teammate. 65 laps remaining. Or he's been kind of in the back, getting caught up in other people's mess. He's down to 20th in the standings coming into today. Is Johnson, what a power move in the inside of Vickers. Is able to rotate the inside, get a run, and he is now clear of Vickers. And now he's going to the inside of Mark. Mark Martin's going to shut him down. But Johnson's being persistent down there on the bottom. Johnson came in today 103 points back off of Matt Kenseth. And now Vickers is trying to fight Johnson back for second. Vickers has a nose, has a half a car length. And he's got the spot back. What a move from Vickers. Now can Harvick pounce for third? Another one of these guys who's had just a crazy amount of speed, but just not consistent enough, unable to close the deal. So he hits fourth. Yeah, coming in today, Kevin Harvick was 15th in the standings. Mark Martin was 18th in the standings. Now Mark Martin's going to roll around the bottom here. Get a nice little exit. Jeff Gordon all over the back and a Terry Labonte in the background for 8th. Pretty tame, pretty spread out. Up first side-by-side battles for 12th. Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth. There's Jeff Burton looking to the outside. Bill Elliott, Kurt Busch are looking to take advantage. Kurt Busch throws it to the inside of Elliott. Greg Biffle just cannot get up. Further back, we got Mayfield and Michael Waltrip. There's Sterling Marlin, Kenny Wallace. There's Ricky Craven, Ricky Paul Menard. Ryan Newman is 26th. He was kind of, and Joe Gibbs racing back here. Whoa. Thought about maybe considering Ryan Newman for the championship bid, but he's going to need some help. And a lot of it. Like Sadler, very, very slow moving through the field. Vickers now still in front of Johnson. Harvick's going to pressure Johnson, try and get around him for 3rd. In the top 5, Kevin Harvick is the only one who ran a 31. I see Dale Jr. is looking to the inside of Gordon. It's going to be a race to the who's last on the brakes, getting into 1. See Burton and Nemechek are side by side. As Vickers is making a late dive to the inside of Mark Martin. The young rookie is getting a little impatient. Can he roll around the inside? Or is that going to leave him vulnerable for Jimmy Johnson to get 2nd? Or it'll be option C, and he'd be vulnerable for Johnson and Kevin Harvick, and that looks like it's going to be option C for Vickers. Thought he was getting a lead, and he might be getting 4th. You just gotta wait for the tires to wear out. You gotta wait for. You gotta be patient. You can't force the car, can't rush the car, slip the tire. Oh, but Vickers is looking to try and clear Harvick, and he does that. In my opinion, I think the strongest car so far in the first 20 laps has been Mark Martin. I mean, won the pole, so far leading, and he is pulling away. And I think Jimmy Johnson and Vickers is a great representation, and then Harvick. But Dale Jarrett's kind of closing in on Ricky Rudd here for a top 5. And then we got McMurray, Labonte. That's Terry Labonte. This is going to be kind of one of the races where if you can kind of maneuver your way into some track position, you may be able to hang on to it. It's going to be really, really difficult to pass. There goes Harvick to the inside of Vickers. Can he make it stick on the bottom? It looks like Vickers got loose. Unable to put the... holy cow. Unable to put the throttle pedal down. Holy cow, English is hard. Got loose on exit. The exit of 2. Harvick was able to get side by side with him. Vickers is trying to rush the corner, rush the car. And this has allowed Jimmy Johnson to pull away. And Harvick is still up his inside. Harvick's looking for kind of a diamond. Enter low, kind of crowd the 5, and then try and exit low. Get himself the best exit he can. You see the weight shift from the back to the front of the car as they get on the brakes. They're still side by side for 3rd. At the line, give it to Harvick by a nose, not much more. So we're getting to be about a third way through this race. Harvick's fighting hard on the inside of Vickers. And there are 3 wide back there with Kenseth, Burton, and Nemechek. As now all this battling has brought Ricky Rudd into the battle for third. And there's still 3 wide. If you look at the top of your screen, Vickers has now cleared Harvick. 17 seems to be kind of making the inside line work. Biffle's looking to the inside of his teammate Kurt Busch, and Jeff Burton clears them both. Meanwhile, Johnson's kind of closing in here. He was a couple tenths quicker than Mark Martin that last time by. 25 laps down, 51 to go. Mark ran 32.1. Ran a 13. Johnson ran a 10. A couple hundredths quicker. But again, catching somebody a couple hundredths here, a couple hundredths there is way different than getting past them. With how narrow this groove is, looks like McMurray's kind of holding this group up, 7th on back. You see Jarrett is definitely pulled away. He's right there. McMurray's just unable to hold the middle / inside groove, and Terry's going to try and get a run. He's just not quick enough. Can't get around him. This is kind of accordion. Here comes Gordon, Jr., Burton, Kenseth. Everybody's going to be all over the back end of the 42 and everybody else. But they just can't seem to find a way around. There goes Labonte looking up the inside. Can he complete the pass for 7th? Unable to. He's got to change up the way he's attacking the corner. There goes Harvick trying to size up the rookie Brian Vickers one more time for 3rd. Harvick's trying to be the first driver to the throttle off corner exit, trying to carry the momentum down the straightaway. That time by, Mark Martin was 200ths quicker. Well, here you go, Mike Bliss, last car in the lead lap. It's 41st. He's going through 3 and 4, exiting 4 now. The leaders are just now exiting 2. So this thing's going to have to go green and then some to get any kind of lap traffic. Look at Johnson slide in the middle of that corner, trying to make ground, catch the 6. Now McMurray's kind of pulling away from the 1 just a little bit. Gordon's trying to look to the outside of his old teammate and future teammate. Gordon goes way high up in that almost 3.5 groove, leaving the door open for Junior. Gordon's trying to get a run on Labonte. He's going to go to the inside. Huge checkup, huge lift. Junior's going to try and get around the outside. They all just kind of come together. Coming off 4. Meanwhile, back here outside the top 25, Newman just barely inside the top 25, but Bobby Labonte's 26th. Tony Stewart's 28th. Elliott Sadler has climbed his way to 32nd. We got Ron Hornaday. He's back in the 30 car for RCR. Travis Quapple's running 36 for that part-time effort. He's going to have one of them bids for either Penske, Hendrick, or RCR equipment. Meanwhile, Johnson's got a run right here. Martin ran a 40 and he ran a 17. 2.5 tenths quicker. Johnson's going to make a move to the inside. Mark Martin's giving plenty of room. And side by side here, Johnson wants a bonus point. He knows how important every point is going towards his championship. Dale Jarrett sizing up Ricky Rudd back there. And Kevin Harvick is still trying to find a way around the rookies. He's going to look high. Vickers is able to roll the bottom, short his way around. Johnson's getting a run off Mark Martin. There's battles all over this top six. Johnson's unable to get anything right there. Ricky Rudd's going to hold off Dale Jarrett. Here comes Kevin Harvick looking up the inside. Johnson's looking up the inside of Mark Martin. Mark Martin's going to be able to defend Johnson. Vickers runs that second half, third lane. Harvick all the way down near the apron. And he's just going to tuck back in behind the 5. See, Mark Martin is just fast enough to stay in front of the 48. As Harvick's up in that third lane, Vickers is going to... And they just kind of meet in that second half lane. The 5 needs to move up. And the 29 needs to come down and finish the corner for the both of them. He's just not quite there. There's Terry Labonte. He's going to throw it up the inside. If he's not careful, Jeff Gordon may be able to pounce, but McMurray's unable to finish the corner. Terry Labonte beat him to that second half groove we were just talking about. But McMurray just got just enough. Was able to get a good exit, but here comes Gordon around the high side. He might be able to get 8th from Labonte. But Labonte's digging up the inside. They're going to be side by side for 8th. Labonte's going to slide up and take that second lane. But he got loose. He got really loose, and that's going to allow Jeff Gordon. He's clear into the corner. And he's looking for a good exit, and he's got the 1. As now the 88 is now sizing up the 21 again. Yeah, it's just super difficult to pass. There goes Jeff Burton. You see the 1 kind of taking that lane away. But Burton kind of used the higher line there, trying to carry the momentum. He's got it for now. It's going to be a race to who's last on the brakes into the corner. And Jeff Burton is able to clear Labonte. Now Jeff Gordon, can he get around McMurray? It looks like the 21 and the 5 kind of pulled away from the 88 and the 29 respectively. But Johnson's staying right there, right in the back, the hip pocket of the 6 car. Johnson is all over the back end of that number 6 Mark Martin machine. This will be halfway this time by. Johnson's got to run. He is there. Cross flags are out. Mark Martin will lead halfway. Johnson's looking to the inside. Johnson's able to kind of slide up right there. Mark Martin was unable to finish the corner the way he would like to. Johnson was able to beat him, but man, Mark Martin is just... That outside line is so difficult to do anything in. But Johnson's not giving up. He's going to try and mount another charge. Oh, here comes Jeff Gordon trying to catch up to McMurray. I expect pit stops here in the next 5, maybe 10 laps. Probably closer to 10 laps. Unless we get a yellow, of course. Johnson gets a huge run on Mark Martin. How aggressive does Johnson throw it up in the inside? He throws it in deep. Can it stick? He doesn't. He has to slide up. Mark Martin kind of missed the center of the corner. They're going to be side by side on exit. Mark Martin's got a fender ahead, but not much more. At the line, they were separated by 200ths. Johnson throws it in deep again. They throw it in pretty equally deep. Johnson's going to slide up and try and take the corner away. They're going to be side by side off the exit at 2. Mark Martin's going to get a run. Can he clear Jimmy? He cannot. Johnson's going to throw it into the inside. He's all the way on that first groove, on that first lane. It is not, there's not enough banking. You can see it in the car. And Mark Martin will continue to hold off Johnson. And he's cleared once again. Did Ricky Rudd pit? Oh yeah, we got pit stops. Ricky Rudd must have pit. That will put Dale Jarrett up to 5th. Now, when do these guys pit? Probably a little over a second off. Mark Martin's pitting. There's Jimmy Johnson. Harvick's going to stay out. Kevin Harvick will lead a lap. A lot of these guys back here are looking for track position. Hoping it stays green. They can catch up a little bit. Fall off about a second. So they're hoping to be a second faster while these guys are on older tires. And then if these guys stay out, they're hoping that their tires will be more equal. So Ricky Rudd has the best rubber underneath his car. And he's looking to make dividends with it. But the good thing with Kevin Harvick is he ended up leading the lap right there. Whoever leads this lap will be on pit road. Never mind, Jack Sprague is going to stay out there. He is now your leader. Now here goes Matt Kenseth. He's going to try and get around the outside of Nemechek, try and get around Dale Jr., and he will pretty freely. Here comes Kurt Busch. He's going to try and beat Nemechek there. There's Jimmy Johnson, Brian Vickers. Here will be your leader. Will be Mark Martin. And he will be leading pretty easily if he can just hang on. And yeah, right there, Jeff Gordon was able to cycle in front of the 42, in front of the 88 even. There goes the 99. The 17, can Dale Jr. get in front of Jamie McMurray? Talked about how McMurray there was kind of holding people up. McMurray wants to get in front of Jr. Meanwhile, Jack Sprague continues to lead as he's in the pits now. Alright, as everything cycles, Jimmy Johnson will be second, Vickers third, fourth there, fifth for Ricky Rudd, sixth for Jeff Gordon, seventh, eighth, ninth, Matt Kenseth will be 10th, McMurray, Dale Jr., I believe, Kurt Busch will be 13th, 14th, and Greg Biffle will be 15th. Casey Mears all over the back end of Bill Elliott. There goes Tony Stewart's trying to roll up the inside here. Bobby Bonnie and Sterling Marlin nearly made contact. There's the 0 there behind, so wherever this cycles, he'll cycle. It looks like it'll be 28th there. Elliott Sadler 32nd. Not the first time it's happened this season where he's had a poor qualifying and try and struggle with track position. As Jeff Gordon's all over the back end of Ricky Rudd trying to promote himself to a top 5. Now right here off turn 2 we got Mike Bliss, Ken Schrader, and then we got Ron Hornaday, Mike Skinner, Ward Burt. This next little group, there's John Andretti. But right here off to turn 3 and 4, they might catch him before this race is over if this thing goes green, which can give Johnson and Brian Vickers a chance to catch up. And we've got under 30 laps to go. Yeah, Mark Martin just posted his fastest lap of the race. Trying to run away from the 48. Yeah, if Mark Martin can hold on, it'll be Roush's 19th victory since 2003. 3 and 4 ran a 90 to a 91, 81 to a flat. So that last time by, Jimmy Johnson was a couple tenths quicker. But he's got rookie Brian Vickers all over him. As Mark Martin's looking for his 37th career victory. Next time by will be 26 laps to go. There's the back end of the lead lap cars, Mike Bliss going off into turn one. There's your top four, top six. There goes Vickers looking to the inside of Johnson. Jimmy's like, no, go away. Like, I'm trying to mount a run, trying to gain momentum. Trying to catch the 6 car. They gotta work together. There's 3 Chevrolets chasing that Ford. There goes Vickers looking up the inside, really, really aggressive. Trying to take that 2.5 groove away. Trying to beat Jimmy to that preferred groove. Yeah, bearing any crazy strategies, look at Johnson's able to get a good run on the exit. Harvick knows that, understands that. It's going to get behind him. Johnson shot out of turn 2 like a cannon. Able to clear the 5, the 29. He's looking to clear the 5. But they're going to be side by side for third. Jeff Gordon's looking for a top 5, trying to get around Ricky Rudd back there. We'll go over the favorites here as of this point of the race. Obviously, I think it's pretty simple. The 6 and the 48. I think lap traffic is going to come down to it. Who can manage that? Harvick, that would be a heck of a story. If he can get a win here for RCR. Matt Kenseth's sitting 10th right now, so if Jimmy Johnson can win, this would be kind of a turning point for his season. Brian Vickers, a rookie. He's never won in the Cup Series. He would love to get a win, I'm sure. Same thing with Jeff Gordon in the 90s. He won a ton of races. The winningest driver in NASCAR since 1992. And he's looking to add to that. Been kind of only won 4 last season. And only one so far won this year. Only one so far this year. But Mark Martin's continuing to run faster. They made a slight air pressure adjustment to help him in the corner, and it seems to be paying off. Just hopefully it doesn't come to bite him in the long run. And especially with this lap traffic. There goes Vickers trying to catch back up to Harvick. Trying to pressure him into making a mistake. Maybe take a little air off his spoiler, trying to get him lose something. Next time by will be 20 laps to go. 20 miles to the finish. Vickers goes way high in turn 1 and 2. Using that third lane, trying to cut down. He's able to get a little bit of a run, but all that's going to do is add heat and add stress to those tires. Dale Jr., Kurt Busch battling for 12th. Biffle's sitting there 15th. Tony Stewart cracked the top 20. Bobby Labonte. I believe Sterling Marlin with some left side damage there. Something happened. Bobby Labonte. There's Steve Park. Ryan Newman 27th. Elliott Sadler's just outside the top 30. There's Travis Kvapil 35th. There's Mike Bliss. And here comes Mark Martin. So come off turn 4 here. You'll get a camera in turn 1. It'll show you how close it is. Alright, camera 2. There's Bliss. There's Mark. But even if Mark Martin gets into lap traffic, like, it's only going to be probably these 5 cars, if not, maybe only 2, maybe 3. I mean, they're only running about a 10th quicker. So it's not like he's running too crazy. The fastest driver that last lap was Johnson with a 31.92. 070098. Last time I was Harvick by a little bit. These guys are just flip-flopping times back and forth. Next time by will be 17 laps to go here. 32.4, so about 4/10 of a difference that last time by. There's a 10, there's a 0, a 0.4. He ran a 2, so he's losing a little bit of time. Jeff Gordon's right there, not in the O's. Taylor Labonte ran a great lap that last time by. We got a battle for 9th right here. Burton and Matt Kenseth. That's worth a point. And Kenseth's got plenty of those points. Yeah, ran a 5 right there. Yeah, right there, Jimmy Johnson did not have a great lap. And you can see just the distance grow between him and Mark Martin. Kevin Harvick is now over the back end of Jimmy Johnson. That 48 car appears to be kind of going away. And this is what Mark Martin wants right here. These two to battle. These two to occupy the racetrack. They can't use the preferred lane as they'd like. Mark Martin would love to drive away. There's a 94. Vickers is running a 94 as well. 94.6 to a 94.1. Looks like Mark Martin didn't get through the best there through turn 1 and 2. How aggressive are you if you're Kevin Harvick? How aggressive are you to get around Jimmy Johnson? Yeah, 32.1, 32.0. Yeah, we see it right there. Mark Martin lost a lot of time last time through 1 and 2. I'm not sure what happened. Right there, just not using kind of all the track right there. Harvick, you saw he was not much. It was like a tire width higher than the other 3 drivers. But that little bit more can carry you that momentum. There's Mark Martin. There's an 09, 4/10 quicker? 6/10 quicker? These guys are continuing to fall off. What can Jimmy Johnson do? He's just got to continue. He's got to back up these corners. He's got to hit his marks. He's got to ignore the 29 in the mirror, and he's got to put these laps together. And then he's going to need some help from that 80. He's going to have to hope that the 6 runs into the 80, not literally into the 80, but once he catches the 80 car, they hold him up a little bit, that he's able to get to the outside and roll around or get to the inside. He passed the 5 earlier, muscled around the inside. Can he maybe replicate that for the win? But he's going to have to ignore that black and silver 29 Goodwrench car if he's going to try and mount a good run to the finish here. These guys are just tossing lap time back and forth, back and forth. This time by will be 10 laps to go. 10 miles to the finish. We'll go through the field one more time. See where your favorite driver is at right now. Elliott Sadler's trying to get around Dave Blaney. Kyle Petty's running 29th, not bad. Who is running bad? Ryan Newman, Steve Park. Penske have missed it this week. Yeah, there is significant damage on the left side there of Marlin. Not sure what happened there. If I remember, I'll have to go back and look. Tony Stewart's rebounded to 18th. There's Mears and Elliott. Biffle hanging down in P15 still. We got a heck of a battle here for the top 10. Ricky Rudd's fallen to 7th. There's Mark Martin. Looks like Johnson kind of closed last time by, but 73.1. Over a second. Yeah, Mark Martin really hit that lap last time by. He's going to catch up to the 80 right here. This is probably best case scenario for the 6. The 80's kind of by himself. So if he needs to get around the 80 car, he's like 4/10 quicker. And I do believe Mike Bliss will hold up Mark Martin a little bit. But I think the 6 is that much quicker to where I think he can get around him pretty efficiently. gonna be all over the back of the 80 right here. This is what Jimmy Johnson wants right here. I don't know, like, normally, ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Is it worth getting around the 80? Risk versus reward, and I think so. As he's trying to get a run, didn't quite time it out correctly. He tried doing a crossover move. He's there now. Unable to get around the 80, he's going to look to the inside. And Jimmy Johnson right there has fallen off. And Mark Martin is clear of Mike Bliss. Mike Bliss is going to fight him back, but I don't know if he'll have much fight for the 6. Johnson's going to roll around the inside. Mark Martin's not going to have the whole track to his advantage. He will now. He's clear of the 80. He's driving away, coming to 6 laps to go. Vickers now has came out of nowhere. The young aggressive rookie may have saved his stuff. Now Mark Martin, I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, he's not much quicker than these 3 guys right here. But if there was another 15 laps, I would be concerned about getting in this mess. Next time by will be 5 laps to go. Now Jimmy Johnson's, he's the next man up, trying to get around Mike Bliss. So he's going to try and go high. Harvick's going to look low. Vickers following Harvick's tire tracks. Johnson's unable to get the run around the outside. Here comes Harvick up the inside. And the 0-1 has issues. He gets it down on the apron. He's way down on the apron. Keep it out of everybody's way. Looks like we continue green. Everybody should make it on fuel. So we're going to have a heck of a battle for second. And Mark Martin's going to try and drive away. That happened right in front of the leaders. And that's why, you hope if you're Mark Martin that none of these guys have an issue where it could possibly take you out. Next time by will be 3 laps to go. Harvick and Johnson are in an intense drag race. Vickers is looking for a place to go. I think the 5 car right now is faster than these 2. He just can't find a way around. He's trying to help his teammate, Jimmy Johnson. And now he's going to look to the outside of Harvick. He's going to roll around the outside really, really well. Should get a really good exit. Next time by will be 2 laps to go. Vickers is looking to clear Harvick right here. Harvick looked like he was possibly going for second. He's not giving up on third yet. 2 to go. 2 miles to the finish to decide our race here at New Hampshire. Yeah, all ones. Well, he was the one on pit road. I should just gone backwards. Oh well. As now Jimmy Johnson's looking to the inside of Mike Bliss. He's looking to try and complete the pass here on the way down there on the first groove, the flat groove. He's going to roll around the inside. He's going to be clear of the 80. The white flag is out for Mark Martin and that Roush bunch. Very, very fast car for that 6. This race looks like it's going to go caution-free. Johnson was able to get around the 80. Harvick looks like he's going to try and keep Vickers behind him. But they're all chasing this man, Mark Martin. Off of turn 4, Mark Martin will win at New Hampshire. Harvick is going to hold on. Jeff Gordon top 5. Drag race. I believe Kenseth will get 8th. Jeff Burton top 10. Junior's going to hold off McMurray. Greg Biffle got 14th. Kind of scroll through here. Tony Stewart did get a top 20. 23rd for Newman. Decent crawl back. Bobby Labonte, though, did not finish very well. Elliott Sadler got a top 30. And there was only one car that did finish. 39 cars in lead lap. Mike Bliss 1 lap down. Adu 3 laps down. Had that issue. And then Buckshot Jones finished 42nd. But here are the official results. Okay, so this is lap 44. I figured out what happened to Sterling Marlin. Left side's on, left side's off, or off and on. Pulls out, boom, right into the 22. Um, I'm not sure exactly, because I thought I saw a donut there, but yeah, I guess that's what happened to Sterling Marlin. But we'll get these points to you, and we'll take a look at these points. So this is the updated points following New Hampshire, race 18 of 30. We got some DEI cars in the top 10. Michael Waltrip's back to 18th. Matt Kenseth has a 73-point lead, 4 wins. Mark Martin picks up 4 spots with his 3rd win of the season. Harvick picks up 2. Marlin loses 2. Earnhardt Jr. picks up 3. Menard and Stewart both pick up 2. John Andretti drops 4. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, championship wise, off of speed, I think you'd look no further than the top 4. I don't think Newman's consistent enough. Biffle and Burton. Biffle doesn't, he's too consistent, or he's consistent, not enough raw speed. Burton's the exact opposite. A ton of raw speed, not enough consistency. And then Kurt Busch is kind of a little bit of both, just not as much of both. And then Terry Labonte, Dell Jr. Mayfield's been kind of up in there, but yeah, here's your updated points. Next race, we're off to the um, Brickyard 400 for our 3rd Crown Jewel race of the season. We got Busch trucks at IRP, and then late models are going somewhere. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in Indy.